Hi, I'm Sharon Bill. Welcome to my Theory Tuition series where I'm working with you step by step through each of the ABRSM theory grades. There are lots of resources available to help you on my website. If you go to sharonbill.com, you'll find some free PDF information sheets. They're available to download in US letter or A4 and they accompany each step of this series. There's a page there with links to all of my YouTube video tutorials, and you can also find information about the books that I have available. I've written an exam technique guide, how to take your ABRSM Music Theory Exam. It's full of tips and hints on how to best prepare for your exam, and also how to make the best use of your time on exam day when you're actually working through your exam paper. So if you go to sharonbill.com, you'll find it's all there. If you can give me a like, that would be really super, and please do subscribe to my channel to keep updated. And now we're going to look at the second paper, so that's paper B of the grade 4 2014 past papers. So if you turn with me to page 8, we can make a start on that. So I always recommend that you have a go of this on your own. First of all, it doesn't matter if you go wrong. You can always just rub out your mistakes. If you're working in pencil, even on exam day, I suggest that you do that. And it's always better to learn through your mistakes whilst working through these past papers. So I'm hoping you've had a go of this on your own. This first question all relates back to this little extract here. And the first part of this question, we have some performance terms here. And although the presentation of these will change from 2018, the format of the paper is that these will be presented to you in multiple choice format, I would still go ahead and make the best use of this for revision purposes and go on and give these their full definitions. So we'll just crack on and give these their full definitions just because it's good practice to do so. So MF, mezzo forte, means moderately loud. Because forte is loud and mezzo is moderately or middle, so moderately loud is a better definition there. So give the technical name of the first note of the melody. So here we are in the key of G major, so we need to just look what the steps of the scale are. The first note of the melody, if we're counting up from G, G, A, B, C, D, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you're not so sure about that, especially because it's a bit tricky because we'd be counting up from ledger lines, what you can do to double check that, just write down the steps of your scale here. I know that would be F sharps, but your key signature will deal with that. So there's the first, second, third. So we're just writing all of the steps of the scale out. So we know that the first note of the melody is a D. So that's the fifth, and the technical name for the fifth is the dominant. There we go. Again, we get some more performance terms, and these will be presented to you in multiple choice format from 2018 onwards, but we'll just go on, and we need to underline one word from this list below that has the same or similar meaning to Allegro. However, I would just, even if you know the answer straight away, let's just give all of these their full definitions just because it's good practice to do so. Let's make the most of this past paper for revision purposes. So here, douce, that means soft or sweet, sweetly. Vite means quick. Ralentir is slacken or slow down, you could say, and my pronunciation is terrible. Modere. Okay, well that's pretty bad, but it means at a moderate speed. There we go, as long as we know what it means. Now Allegro, I think we first came across that in grade 1, because remember all of these terms are accumulative, so it's everything that you learned so far from grades 1, 2, 3 and 4 combined. So we're still referring back to knowledge from grade 1 here. Allegro means fast or quick, and so we can see that this vite is the word that we're going to underline. So I think we've made the best possible use of that little exercise there, and let's move on. So now we're asked to name the ornament used in bar 3. So let's look ahead to bar 3. And this is the ornament here, just a little extra note embellishing the melody. And that, in classical terms, is an acciaccatura. I'll spell that for you in a moment, where we quickly crush that in, unlike an appoggiatura, which doesn't have the line where we divide between the note divisions equally. So this is an acciaccatura. That's the classical term, which is spelt with double C, which is quite a mouthful. Alternatively, you could refer to it as a crushed note, which makes more sense possibly, although I've always referred to it as an acciaccatura, or you could also call it a grace note. We tend to choose which term to use depending upon which instrument we play. That's the classical normal there. These tend to be if you play more popular music, I would suggest. So any one of those will do. So let's carry on to the next question. Draw a circle around 3 notes next to each other that form the tonic triad of G major. The tonic triad is built up of the 1st, the 3rd and the 5th. And we've already written the scale out here, but we'll just do it again. So we want to look at the 1st, the 3rd and the 5th. So the 1st is G, if we're in G major, G, A, B is the 3rd, C, D is the 5th. So we're looking for G, B, D together. May not necessarily be in that order though. So let's have a look. So we've got a D and a G, but then we've got an F, so that's no good. Got a G, but then it goes to a C, so that's no good. We've got a B, but that's by a C and an E, so that's no good. We've got D, G, D, so we're missing the B so far. So now we've got G, D, B. Finally, bar 3, we get there. So there are the notes of the tonic triad. Let's carry on. So we need to rewrite bar 3 without the ornament. We don't need to bother with the ornament, but we need to rewrite the main melody notes of bar 3 in simple time, but without changing the rhythmic effect. So we're changing from compound time to simple time. So we need to add a new time signature for that. So at the moment, this is compound time, and we've got 3 groups of 3. 9/8 is, if I just sort of sketch this here, 1, 2, 3 groups of 3. So we've got 3 groups of 3. It's compound triple time. You can see group 1, group 2, group 3 there. And so we need to stay in triple time here. So we still need 3 groups, but we're going to be in groups of 2 here. That's our simple time. And so that becomes 3/4 as our time signature. So once we've done that, the hard thinking is done really. So we're going back to bar 3. So I'm just going to get all of these note heads in, and then what we will do, if you remember, we need to squish from a group of 3 to a group of 2, and we do that by adding triplet signs to squish these groups of 3 into the time of 2. So that's all we have to do. If there were any other notes, we'd have to remove the dot. However, that's not appropriate in this bar. So we need a G. Just have to keep glancing up the page to get that. D, B, G. Don't worry about the ornament, remember, so I'm just going to go straight to the G again. So we're just skipping this and doing G and then G again. G, F, of course it's F sharp, our key signature's there doing the job for us. So here's 1, 2, 3, so we need to add a triplet sign to that. You could do that, or you could do like a slow sort of bracket shape. So here's our next group of 3, 1, 2, 3, so triplet there, and then this is an obvious group of 3, 1, 2, 3, triplet. So the triplet does the job for us there. Okie dokie, last one on this section. So then write as a breve or a double whole note the enharmonic equivalent of the first note in bar 2. Now whether you play piano or not, I always recommend that you just get used to reading basic keyboard, and then we can easily visualise what's going on. And so the first note in bar 2 here is an E, and so enharmonically we can call that either an F flat or we can call it a D double sharp. Either one of those will do. And so as a breve it would be F. I know that the sharp is there, but the flat sound will nullify that. So there's our double whole note, our breve. So F flat would be one answer. Alternatively, you could say D double sharp. There we go. But just make sure that you're in the right territory, not an octave out. So we're on the E at the top of this stave, so we've written the F flat or the D double sharp here. No other position on the stave would do, otherwise you'd be an octave out. So that's that question completed. Now just briefly, if you turn over the page, question 2 is the question that no longer appears on the 2018 exam paper. We're no longer required to write a rhythm to words or a 4-bar rhythm. This no longer appears on the paper at all. Not only was this an option to choose between these two, in fact neither of them come onto the paper now, so we're just going to skip that and move on to the next question, which we'll do in the next video. I do hope that's helpful to you. I hope that you're enjoying it. I'm certainly enjoying working through it with you. If you can give me a like, that would be really super, and please do subscribe to my channel to keep updated. There's lots more in store. Please also do visit sharonbale.com and make use of all of the resource and information that's available there to help you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.